Have you ever found yourself dreaming about one day being as talented or as crafty as the likes of Brian Eno, Vangelis, Jean-Michel Jarre, or Steve Roach, but had no idea where to begin? Are you someone who's growing tired of the 2 or 3 oscillator synthesizer design of the late 2010s and early 2020s, and find yourself seeking a deeper level of customization where you can design your own synth from absolute scratch? Are you looking for a new synthesizer to inspire you to take your music to new heights, to a place where anything is possible? A synth that might help you reach that next tier for your sound and help you accomplish your ambient goals. A synth with the ability to quickly layer and split polyphonic patches using a wide variety of synthesis methods and provide an instant source of musical inspiration for music producers of any genre. Well, today, friends, I present to you Hyperion, a 16-layer, 32-voice per layer, polyphonic semi-modular beast of a software synthesizer that's going to change the way you approach synthesis forever. What's up, guys? Chris here from Signs of Life. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about the inspirational multi-layer modular synthesizer Hyperion from Wavesequencer. Let me ask you, have you ever found yourself wanting more from your synthesizers? Are you drawn into the sonic possibilities of multi-layer designs such as Omnisphere's Multis or even Reason's Combinator? Do you often wish that your synth was deeper in its sound creation and generation possibilities, deeper than you ever possibly imagined? Well, enter Hyperion. My main goal with this video is to try to explain just how powerful Hyperion is, so hopefully that will help you decide if Hyperion is right for you. There are so many features to go over with Hyperion, and I don't think I'm going to be able to cover them all, so please bear with me. I'm going to try to get there. Also, if you stick around to the end, the developer of Hyperion has generously offered us all a 30% off discount code, which is good until November 30th, 2021. So if you happen to catch this video within the first month of release, you're going to be able to redeem that code. So what is Hyperion? With Hyperion, it's a modular synthesizer where you can design your own sounds in a modular way, from selecting multiple sound generation, sound processing, and control nodes. Each layer in Hyperion is basically its own independent synthesizer with its own voice settings. Although all layers respond to the same macro values, you can pass data between the layers using the macro sender and the MIDI CC. Multi-layer sound designs can be saved and then recalled later as Combi patches. Each patch has its own dedicated note and velocity zones, as well as dedicated chord, MIDI echo, and arpeggiator functionality. In other words, each patch is like a multi in Omnisphere or a multi-sampled patch in Kontakt, except it's super easy to set up in Hyperion. You want multiple layers with multiple different arpeggiated sequences? You can do that. You want multiple different layers with multiple different synthesis types? You can do that too. Each layer can have its own dedicated bus effects with audio from each layer that can be sent between the patches using one of 4 effects buses. As I mentioned, you can pass audio from one effects bus to another on a different layer, and you'll find that in Hyperion, some of the patches are just effects bus processing patches only. You can also use the FX audio input node, so you can use Hyperion purely as a modular effects processor. Hyperion was designed from the outset with sonic flexibility in mind, while keeping the modular patching approachable and easy to follow. You may be wondering how Hyperion is able to do all this. Efficient processing enables up to 16 layers of complex sound patches and up to 32 voices per layer. I talked to the developer on how Hyperion is actually able to achieve such amazing numbers and results, all while keeping the CPU at a modest rate. And considering how much is actually going on in each of the patches, he said it involves a complex nodal system inside of Hyperion's audio engine. I didn't understand much after that, but just know that even though you can have 16 layers with an unlimited number of oscillators per layer, Hyperion isn't going to destroy your CPU. In fact, during the testing of Hyperion and the creation of the demo track for this video, I was able to load 8 instances of Hyperion on my older CPU, and it barely reached over 20%. It's got full patch browsing with category and author filters, and you can also save all your favorite patches and all your favorite nodes with one click of a button. Hyperion offers surgical control over all of your sound design. It features per layer note handling options, as well as layer specific polyphony, pitch bend, portamento speed, pitch randomization, and drift, custom pitch slope, monophonic retrig option, and voice trigger options. You can have an unlimited number of nodes per layer and up to 16 mixable modulation sources per target modulation input. In other words, you can have up to 16 modulation sources per input with no limit to how many sources you can have. You can see how crazy this can get. Hyperion features multiple different synthesis types, with the classic mono and stereo virtual analog oscillators, with mono and stereo unison detuning, and wave shaping, which enables drastic sonic character changes from the basic waveforms. It has an easy-to-use 4-operator FM oscillator with 12 algorithms, as well as a pre-selected list of modulation operator ratios and master modulation depth control. Also featured in Hyperion are these wave sequencing oscillators with up to 32 steps of oscillator configuration. It also has a wave sequence 4-operator FM oscillator with the same features as the other wave sequencing oscillator, but enables sequences of 4-operator FM configurations. It has a pluck string model oscillator. It has a physical flute modeling oscillator. It has sample playback node with looping, and it can also loop single cycle waveforms to create custom oscillator tones. It has a multi-sample sound font oscillator, which enables import of SFZ and FSF2 files, and it also has vector synthesis with fully modulatable vector mixers available for both voice processing and effects bus audio processing with up to 4 sources. As far as sound processing goes, it has multiple different filter types, including low, high, band, notch with cutoff and resonance, slope, depth, stereo offset, and saturation control. It has distortion, a tube resonator, ring modulator, bit crusher, a granulator. There's 3 different reverb types. There's a chorus, there's a flanger, phaser, tremolo, 3-band EQ, stereo echo, and of course the effects bus send and receive cross layer. As far as modulation goes, there's a huge range of control and data generation options. It has ADSR with pre-delay with multiple triggering options, including looping envelopes, LFOs with 1-shot, beat sync, and start phase control. Macro data can be sent and received, MIDI data and notes can be sent and received on selected channels. You can send control data from one layer to another on internal MIDI channels. You can send MIDI CC control data and notes to the outside world. You can drive other synths and effects on any of the 16 MIDI channels. Anything you can build in Hyperion could potentially use it to drive any other piece of gear in your studio that currently accepts MIDI. It has a suite of data processing and generative nodes, including data smoothing, binary logic, math expression evaluation, step sequences, data range mappers, scale mapping, event triggers, zone triggering, and MIDI data triggering. Also, it would be remiss if I didn't mention that it also has touch controls built in with X and Y oriented data control trigger and data generator pads. So let's talk about Hyperion for ambient music. Hyperion is a synth that will grow with you. It can be as simple or as deep as you could possibly imagine, with complete and total control over the type of sounds that you want to create. What I love most about Hyperion is it allows you the creative and technical freedom to design whatever your heart desires. There isn't much that Hyperion can't do, and what it does do, it does it extremely well. Hyperion is a complete and total package for any producer of all skill levels. Hyperion literally invites you into its world and dares you to dream up of new possibilities. Pads, sequences, plucks, textures, generative patches, sample-based synthesis, multi-layered bass tones, realistic bells and flutes. Hyperion can literally do any of these with total ease. As far as bang for the buck, you're getting a whole host of features that usually cost way more when separated out, but with Hyperion, you're getting all of those inside of one package. And that's kind of a value when you consider how powerful Hyperion actually is. So my final thoughts on Hyperion are this. Hyperion is a gorgeous sounding synthesizer that continues to blow me away every single time that I use it. The often talked about interface and design choice makes total sense once you understand how Hyperion works and the methodology behind it. It had to be modular, and in order for Hyperion to be Hyperion, the modular system is the right choice. I've gotten into the mindset now that Hyperion might be all that I need when it comes to sound design. If I had a vision or a sound design goal in mind, chances are Hyperion could probably do that. It's a product that continues to be developed well after release, and the developer is committed to making a synth that not only will last, but improve over time. What I love most about Hyperion is that when you purchase Hyperion, you're supporting the developer and the future of Hyperion and everything else that will eventually follow. Hyperion is made by one person, and he's got way more in store for us in the months and years to come. I'm super excited about the future of Hyperion, and I hope you are too. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, that discount code. If you head on over to Traction.com right now or before November 30th, 2021, you'll be able to snag Hyperion for 30% off the normal price. Use the code Hyperion Signs, just like it shows on the screen, all caps, right now to claim your copy of Hyperion and start making some amazing ambient or whatever other genre that you like, because Hyperion is a synth that can truly do it all. So before we wrap up today, I want to give a huge thank you and a shout out to Paul, aka Wavesequencer, for not only providing us with that generous discount code, but also for taking the time to share Hyperion with me and allowing me to share Hyperion with all of you. Hyperion might not have the graphical interface of all these modern VSTs, but in the end, none of that matters when you have something as powerful as Hyperion in your hands, and it sounds just as good, if not better, than any other synthesizer on the market today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy Hyperion, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.